what's good? It's your boy, Paulus Harris, aka Crazy Uncle. Hey, guess what? This is your first time tuning in. Go ahead, hit doggone subscribe button, hit notification bell every time I post up new content. Yeah, I'm a little early, but hey, it is what it is. You know, um, everybody's talking about it. Well, well, I'm pretty sure everybody's talking about it. You know, about the plane and helicopter that collided, and then they, huge investigation. Everybody want to sit up here and give their own like little 2 cents or whatever. And which, for the most part, hey, if that's how you feel, that's how you feel, right? But I just like to say, I went back and I looked at some of the clips. I looked at some of the stuff what a lot of the reporters are saying or were saying. Yep, I already know what the fuck going on. So hey, and the one comment that I felt like that gave it all away when the one reporter said, oh, this is almost as bad, if not worse, than what happened on 9/11. And then we all know that most of us know what everybody should know, that 9/11 was an inside job. Those buildings were meant to go down on purpose. I don't give a fuck what nobody says. Now, whether or not anybody was in those planes, again, you know, well, they claim that people died, right? And that's all that I'm gonna look at it like that. But anytime when you see shit go down like this, a controlled demolition, those planes went into those buildings on purpose. And so just like with all of the technology that is out today, right? Because let's actually really stop and think about this for a minute, right? Before this, a couple of months earlier, everybody was talking about all of the drones that was coming up, on the on the eastern seaboard. Drone this, drone that, drone the other, right? But a lot of y'all may or may not know that, that technology has been around for a pretty good long while, right? Um, Superman the movie, that car was a drone or ran by remote control. The TV show Knight Rider, it was when he like, Kid, I need you, buddy, and then that motherfucker started by itself. And if it got it back up, it did all that shit, right? So so for a lot of y'all act like thinking this is brand new technology. No, the fuck it ain't. Anytime when you can control some shit by remote control, even the smallest little shit, like with the television, what makes the fuck you think they can't do that to an automobile, an airplane, or even a motherfucking helicopter? I.e., the Black Hawk. Because you can't sit up here and tell me that, okay, it's dark, it's nighttime, right? So you got your lights on, you got to be able to see, and that helicopter has more, it can maneuver a hell of a lot faster than that damn airplane, right? I mean, because the thing about it, though, I know what Trump said, but you know, my whole deal is you can't put every goddamn thing on the air traffic controller. You got to be like, okay, oh shit, there's an airplane coming, right? So you duck down, right? Get out of the airplane's way. But it's just like, cause I was looking at this footage. I'm like, okay, look, this shit don't make no kind of damn sense. I see you, but you don't see me. Come on now, that was a guy. Put like that. That particular Black Hawk, right, was a goddamn drone. You can't tell you can't make me believe otherwise. Yes, I know what the news media is saying, but that was a drone. Plain and simple, people. You know, you can actually really stop and look at it and be like, okay, well, hey, you know what? Let's test it on something else first before we put it on this Black Hawk. So basically, that's all. This is all what the fuck this is, people. And then, because again, because Dane Calloway said it. It was and I forget the young lady's name, but she was on there. She was like a very prosperous, even about to become more prosperous in the field that she chose to go in, right? And so you know how the powers that be or the powers that shouldn't be, you know how they feel about certain individuals, especially when they feel like they may become a threat to their own livelihood. They find out what plane you on, where you coming from, and where they find out what plane you gonna get on, and where you coming from, and when that plane is supposed to land. This is no different than that. What was that? That Malaysia flight 180, right? That's just up and disappeared off the fucking radar, right? And then again, you got to go back and look at the manifest. Who was on that flight? Somebody or some people were on that flight that either had documents, um, patents, or whatever the case may be, right? That was actually really going to benefit them, not the government, right? So the plane comes up missing, right? And they were like, well, we don't know where it went. Yeah, you did. And so this is no different. Well, the only difference is that Black Hawk was a motherfucking drone. Plain and simple. I mean, because the other option is like is probably stretching it, but then again, depending on who watches this video, y'all are probably saying, "Okay, crazy unc, you stretching it a little bit," but am I really? Because here's the deal: I don't put nothing past no motherfucker, not even myself, right? And so when you look at it from that aspect, I mean, you could be like, okay, this makes sense. So now you'd be like, okay, well, what other option was it out there? Well, they could have the powers that be or the powers that shouldn't be could have said, hey, look, we're gonna need for y'all to run into that airplane. Now, you can set that motherfucker for code, automatic pilot. And once y'all think that y'all close enough to it, y'all can eject, which I really don't think that you can eject out of a helicopter. I don't think. Right? But in either case, or they could have just been like, okay, hey, look, y'all do this suicide mission for us, and we'll make sure that y'all families are taken care of. Which again, that's actually really fucking stupid if you think about it for a minute, because that's what the motherfuckers across the water do. Not really knowing if them people, the people that do the suicide mission, we really don't know if these motherfuckers. Well, put like this, we already know that they ain't finna get fucking taken care of, right? They just put that lie in, or for the most part, it could not have even been a lie. It could have been just for the simple fact, you know what? Anything that's going to be harmful to the citizens of the United States, hey, guess what? They all for it. So those are my two options. Either that was a goddamn clone, a drone, or those two pilots, whatever, they did a motherfucking suicide mission. Regardless of however you want to see it, right? Go back, look at the manifest on who is on that flight. Because you can best believe it was some very important people on that plane. Why else would they bring that some bitch down? And then I'm just looking at the simple fact, okay. And then to be perfectly honest, the explosion, and that's another thing. People just looking at the motherfucking collision, right? I mean, I regret the fact it was at a pretty far distance, right? But when those two aircraft exploded on impact, it wasn't a huge explosion like how it was when those planes ran into the Twin Towers, right? And then I'm pretty sure that with the explosion like that, right? I'm pretty sure that jet fuel, matter of fact, hold on. Let's do this. Hold on. Because basically what I'm trying to do right now, I'm trying to see um shit is fuel. Can hold on. What happens when water comes into contact? Okay. Does it extinguish? Okay. Basically what this is saying, it said in general, liquid fuels, as stated in the question, are less dense than water. This is an important factor as it means that fuel floats on water. So for the most part, if I'm reading this right, hold on, here's the rest of it. It floats on water. If that fuel is burning, then the effect is most likely that you will spread burning fuel without extinguishing. Now, many things can happen. So, for the most part, so in other words, they pretty much saying, and I could be wrong, right? But basically, what they're saying here is, so let's look at it. These two aircraft, they collide, they explode. And the explosion was bullshit, mind you. You look at that explosion, then you look at the shit that happened with the Twin Towers. And then both the airplane and the doggone Black Hawk fell into the Potomac River, right? I mean, come on now, we've all seen this. We let's be reasonable with this, people. We didn't see this shit explodes, and I'm just like, okay, I ain't never seen an explosion where that it it go out just as fast. It happened. That explosion because again, let's look at the airplane. Let's look at the motherfucking helicopter. Both of them shits run on the specialized fuel, right? And then all what the fuck you get out of that is a little bit ass explosion. Come on now, people. I know y'all ain't that damn dumb. At least I would hope not. So again, just like I said, there's a hell of a lot more questions that need to be answered, and those motherfuckers know. But it's just for the simple fact that if you really want to know how I think about it, yes, that shit was staged. Wasn't nobody in that goddamn Black Hawk. That shit was done by remote control. These people figured out who was on that motherfucking flight, and then the end result, let them tell it, 67 people died. And with that, even the number really don't even motherfucking make sense. That's one more than the number six. That's one. That's Michael. Go ahead. 66 plus one. And then they even tried to cover that up because they probably figure like, okay, well, if we say 66, then here come all the motherfucking conspiracy theories. Well, guess what? A lot of us, not to say that I'm a conspiracy theorist. Well, actually, I am. I am well, put it like this. I'm not going to sit up here and say it's a conspiracy theory. Well, let's just say that it's a conspiracy fact. And I know I said this one before because everybody that's walking on the face of the earth, whether you male or female, all of us got here due to a conspiracy. But just know this, people, a conspiracy is not a bad thing. Hell, if it was, well, none of us be walking around this motherfucker. So, what did we learn today? Or we could just sit up here now. Again, we can all speculate on what happened. But just like I say, if you ask me, that Black Hawk was nothing more than a drone. They found out who was on the motherfucking plane. They send the Black Hawk in. Bullshit collision, bullshit explosion. And now they talking about, they have retrieved all the bodies. In which my thing is, again, and I should have actually really pushed this shit back, um, more than what I did. Let's see here. How large is the Potomac. Or let's see. Yeah, how wide is it? Okay, so it's 11 miles wide, right? Now, and then in some parts, let them, like the shit goes, I guess it's in some places it's 13 upstream. Okay. Between Point Lookout and Smith Point, upstream from the Great Falls. Oh, okay. So, but my whole deal is, regardless of how, regardless of how wide or how long the Potomac River is, right? You know, so again, let's look at the explosion, right? Now, grant the fact you can have an explosion, right? And I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure that plane didn't act like really just go into shambles, right? And then for the most part, right, you got to be like, okay, well, some of them bodies had to fall out before that plane hit the ground. And so I'm just like, and then again, it could be impatience on my part, but I'm trying to figure out why the fuck it take you so damn long to find 67 bodies. Again, this is bullshit at the highest level. Just like 9/11 was bullshit at the highest level, and just like Malaysia Flight 180 was bullshit at the highest level. Just like say, if y'all really want to know why a plane crashed, go look at the motherfucking manifest. Somebody or a group of people that's on that plane was some very important people or soon to be very important people. Plain and simple. So, with that being said, hey, guess what the fuck y'all get to do? Tell your mama, tell your daddy, tell Big Dad, tell Big Bertha, your uncle, your auntie, your grandma, your papa. Motherfucker next door across the street around the corner. Paulus Harris, aka Crazy Uncle. I'll holler at y'all.